What's up, guys? Just got back from watching UFC 136. Really good event. Didn't quite go as I expected, to say the least. Going into the pay-per-view, all the fights prior leading up into it had all gone to a decision. I'm like, what is this going to be like? UFC 136 decisions? I thought maybe the only fights that could probably end early would be Giard knocking out Lozon and possibly Aldo knocking out Florian and Stan maybe catching Sonnen. Yeah, not so much. First off, Melvin. Man, Melvin. Um, he came out way too aloof, way too relaxed. It was almost similar to the Nate Diaz fight when he was in full control. And granted, he was in full control. This fight just started, but he just was overconfident. Left himself wide open for a counter, got caught, and on the ground, Joe Lozon just absolutely hustled him and submitted him in no time flat. That loss is as much of what Melvin did wrong as it is what Joe Lozon did right. But either way, big respect Joe Lozon. A lot of people didn't even think he deserved the fight, and not only did he win it, he won it pretty definitively. And as for Melvin's future title shot, back in line. All right, next up, Nam fan Leonard Garcia rematch. Similar to the first fight, maybe not as much non-stop action, but pretty solid back and forth fight. The problem with Leonard Garcia is he throws so many big winging shots that he gasses himself out early. Thus, when he actually hurt Nam in the third round, he just didn't have anything left to finish him off with. When you watch Leonard Garcia fight after about the first round or so, he pretty much looks like a drunk dude. Like, literally, it looks like a guy that's just effed up, just throwing winging shots, doesn't know what he's doing. Good fight, though, and unlike the first fight, the record got the decision in this one. Next up, Chael Sonnen, Brian Stan. Sonnen dominated, used his wrestling to take down Stan, and absolutely just run a grappling clinic on him. A wrestling clinic, a grappling clinic, whatever you want to call it. He dominated every single position on Stan. He made Brian Stan look like a novice on the ground. Stan maybe landed a shot in the second off a stand-up. That was uncalled for, in my opinion, by the ref. But Sonnen got him back down and just, made quick work of him. For the most part, I mean, he was just dominating positions, doing whatever he wanted to him, and then sunk in that arm triangle. And I like how quickly he was able to jump to the other side and just submit Stan. And even better, love him or hate him, that post-fight call-out of Anderson Silva was epic. People were going nuts at the bar sports bar I was watching it at. That's some pro wrestling stuff right there, but even better because it's real life stuff. So hopefully we get that fight in February on Super Bowl weekend. Co-main event of the night, Jose Aldo defending his title against Kenny Florian. I thought Aldo would take Kenny out. I thought he'd be more aggressive. But for some reason, it just seems like in all those last few fights, he's just not going out there looking for these devastating finishes the way he was a year or two ago. When he was dominating Mike Brown and the guys in WEC. Now, granted, the level of opposition is a little bit higher, but still, he's just not going out there fighting as aggressively and recklessly. I'm not saying he's still not a great fighter, but he's not quite as fun to watch as he was when he was in the WEC. Either way, for the most part, he dominated this fight. I really don't know what Kenny's plan was to win this fight, aside from trying to get takedowns and do stuff on the ground, which he wasn't very successful at. Wasn't really successful from the outside. I don't know. It was an alright fight. Kind of slow. Just Aldo should have done more. I think he was capable of doing more, but he just never really put his foot on the gas. But either way, Jose Aldo wins a unanimous decision. Rightfully so, and next up will be Chad Mendez, most likely. Main event of the night. The third fight between Gray Maynard and Frankie Edgar. Wow. Talk about deja vu. First round. Gray goes out there and hurts Frankie almost instantly. And it looks like it just looked like a replica of the first fight. The second fight. Except for Frankie wasn't getting knocked down, but he was still stumbling around. He was hurt. Gray hurt him with numerous punches. The problem is, I think Gray, unlike in the first fight, the second fight, second fight, he went for the kill, he didn't get it, so he ran out of gas. I think here, in this fight, he was worried that if he went for the finish and he didn't get it, he would gas out again. So he didn't go all out like he probably should have. And that's probably something I'll end up regretting. I mean, you think he would learn from the first fight. Those opportunities come few and far between because he never got an opportunity like that after the first round in the second fight. And once again, that was the case here. Much like in the second fight, Edgar went on to win the second round, third, and in the fourth. Also, Gray didn't really go for many takedowns. He finally did in the fourth round, but unsuccessfully. It's a little too late by then. But then, Frankie goes for a takedown. Gray defends it. Frankie throws some weird uppercut from a unique position. Hurts Gray, which was funny because, I think a lot of people didn't really think that Frankie could hurt Gray, myself included. Because he was landing some pretty flush shots early in the fight. He wasn't really hurting Gray. But he hurt Gray. Saw Gray was hurt, jumped on him with another right hand, backed him into the fence. Couple more rights, Gray went down and finished him off the ground with left hands, man. And out of nowhere, I mean, the sports I was watching, everyone was going nuts. They were going wild. I mean, it was crazy, totally unexpected finish. So big props to Frankie Edgar for once again surviving his first round, and for coming back and getting a stoppage. Probably the one result I least expected in the night was a stoppage by Frankie Edgar. So big ups to the champ. Looking forward to seeing his next fight, which I think will be against Ben Henderson, who I envision beating Clay Guida. Anyways, really good event overall, though. The pay-per-view, at least, definitely well worth the money, in my opinion. Of course, I didn't pay, but if I had, it would have been worth the money. Anyways, what are your guys' thoughts on the event? The fights in particular? What do you think about Sonnen calling out Anderson Silva? What do you think about Melvin blowing an opportunity again? And thoughts on the main event, of course. What the fighters did right, what the fighters did wrong, and what you think of the result. That's it for now. ScienceVice.com, Twitter.com, 916Chris, and whatever else. Links in the range for the video as always. That's it for now. Till next time.